Hey folks, welcome to the Triple T Thursday. For those just joining us, that's Tools, Tips, and Talk, where we'll discuss info for the knife maker. I get this question all the time. Where do I get an anvil? What are my options for anvils? So Vivor, a company that I've done some other work with, sent me an anvil, one of their 130-pound anvils to review. So I wanted to take you guys through that because I think it is a really good option for folks that need an anvil. So let's take it through its paces and I'll show you guys what it's like. Well folks, there it is, a 130-pound anvil. Yes, you can see that it's poking out the front, so I guess there was some issues in the delivery, but it's an anvil. I'm sure it's fine. So let's take it out of the box and see what we got. Okay, so I got it propped here, up here on a stool. It does have some weight to it, that's for sure. So immediately I see it's got nice crisp edges. It's definitely got some weight. This is a double horn anvil, so it's got a rounded horn and then this tapered horn at the back. It does have a hardy hole, and I don't know what that is, some kind of large pritchel hole. I'm not sure what that is, but so far it looks pretty decent. But we're going to do a rebound test on this thing. But before we do that, we're going to do some modifications. The very first thing we're going to do is take the paint off the horn. I don't really know why all these Chinese anvils and the Harbor Freight anvils come with a painted horn. That's just not a good idea. So we're going to end up just taking all of this off, maybe taking a bit off the edges here. I'm going to soften one of these edges. I'll keep one I'm still going to take a little bit. It's a little too sharp. I'll keep one relatively sharp, and then the other one I want a pretty good radius, maybe like an 1/8 of an inch radius on this one, and I'll leave these pretty sharp. So I'm trying to take a file to clean the insides of these out. It's pretty hard. This stuff is not coming off real easy, so it's harder than I expected. Okay, we've cleaned up the horn. It's nice and shiny now. I've done all the edges, made this edge quite a bit rounder than this one. It's still pretty sharp. Took down all these and then did all the edges. Looks pretty good. Let's just clean the grease off the top and see how she hits. So the one issue I see, there's a whole bunch of kind of slag inside of this this hardy hole. I'd have to take a carbide burr and take out all this slag inside, because there's no way a hardy tool is going to go in there. But that's not too bad. That'll only take a few minutes. But I'm going to do that at some other point. Let's do a little rebound test. Well, I'm back in the shop here. This is my current anvil. This is a 170-pound hay button anvil that I paid $900 for, used, very well used. But we're going to use this to compare. So what we're going to do is a rebound test. And here I've got a 1-inch piece, a 1-inch round 52-100 ball bearing. And what we're going to do is bounce this. We'll see how high it rebounds. And that'll be a good measurement of how much rebound the anvil is. You want it to come back as high as you can. So I'm going to do kind of scientific. I'll do it with a ruler and try to capture all this in film in slow motion so you guys can see it. But you can see the rebound on this one is pretty good. If I drop it from here, it's about 90%. Okay, okay, so I got a ruler here. I'm gonna go in the very center of the anvil where the most mass is, and I'm gonna do a couple of tests. I'm gonna show you guys this in slow motion so you can see where the ball drops to. Okay, so that gives you a measurement of this anvil. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the V-bore anvil on top of this one, so I got a good sturdy base, and we're going to redo that test. Okay, I got the V-bore anvil sitting on top of my other one. Let's redo the test. Well, I don't know about you guys, but that looked pretty good. I can't tell exactly, but it looked as good or better than my hay button.
Hey folks, want to take a pause here and talk about our sponsor, Maritime Knife Supply. If you're a knife maker, they have everything you need, from steel all the way to hydraulic presses and everything in between. They're up in Canada, but you can shop in US prices and pay in US dollars, and they'll ship it anywhere in the US or elsewhere. So go take a look at Maritime Knife Supply. The link's down in the description.
So I really want to put this anvil through its paces, but I'm going to need an anvil stand. So that's what I've put together here, or what I'm going to put together. I've got, basically I bought two 10-foot pieces of 4x4, had them just cut it to 2-foot lengths for me. I got a bunch of lag bolts, a couple 1/2-inch bolts, you'll see what I'm going to do with these, and a couple pieces of steel to lag the anvil down, and you'll see how I do that. And then I bought a couple of casters just so I can move it around, because I'm not going to want this out in the open all the time since it is a spare anvil. So let's get going. I'll show you how I'm going to put together this anvil stand, and then we'll get to beating on that anvil and moving some steel. Okay, I got the anvil on here. I've just bent a couple of bars, a couple of steel bars, drilled in one side, and on the other side, I just kind of separated it in two, bent each over, just so I could put a bolt here, just to tighten these down, just so I know this thing's going nowhere. So that's what I'm gonna do, just tighten it on each side. All right, we got the anvil stand all done. I mean, it could use a little, you know, maybe a little silicone on the floor if I put it anywhere permanent, but it's not meant to be permanent. All right, let's get something in the forge, give it a try. Well, folks, I would definitely say I put this anvil through its paces. Did a little forging experiment on it. Not a scratch on it. A little bit of dirt, but not even a dent. The one thing I did notice, though, the horn looks like it's cast iron. So the horn takes dents really easy. So that's the only one drawback of this one. But the face of this one is fantastic. It has about the same rebound as my hay button. Now I felt like I was getting a little more, it might be because of the chains and this is just a sturdier base, but just ever so slightly more solid of a hit here. But I'm not sure I attribute that to the anvil. It might be the stand and the way this one is like rock solid. But this is a used anvil that I paid $900 for. $260 for this anvil. I cannot imagine getting an anvil of this quality for that price anywhere in the US. So I would highly recommend, if you don't have an anvil and you want an anvil, go get it. 260 bucks, unbelievable. There's links down in the description, so go check it out. I'm really happy with it. I will definitely be using this with classes. So if you want to take some Damascus classes, and I may be teaching some beginner classes now that I have anvils and another grinder on the way. So stay tuned. If you want to check those out, go to my website, link down in the description. Thanks, folks. We'll see you on the next one.